Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
So excited to have Sadigoh Galloway joining us here today. She's the owner and CEO and therapist at Your Recovery Counseling, based out of Euclid, Ohio. We want to give a warm welcome to her today. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Great. Pleasure to see you. For those unaware, we are live on the Zoomcast and the podcast. So I get to see her beautiful face today as well, which I think always helps when you do a Zoom. You get to kind of feel someone. And I'm sure you probably will agree with that, right? When you're doing your work as well.
Absolutely. It's just a different connection that's made. So thank you.
Perfect. And let me ask, first and foremost, the work you do, your recoverystarts.com. Is that the website?
That's the website. YourRecoveryStarts.com is the website. The agency is Your Recovery Counseling.
Perfect. And you're able to work with those in what states or all around the world?
So currently we serve any Ohio resident that can either do self-pay, have Ohio Medicaid or private insurance. So we are only serving Ohio residents at this time, but we're looking to expand to other states.
Beautiful. Well, first and foremost, would you mind telling us a little bit about the work that you're doing and who are some of the clients that you're helping in a sense? What are people, what type of people are coming to you healing? And by the way, go to the website. There's some great videos there too. We'll talk about that as well.
Thank you so much. Yes, so we treat folks who have mental health disorders, substance use disorders, untreated emotional challenges or struggles is the way that I like to put it. We're all recovering from something. So we see folks that are in need of hope, or they are just, they're down and out. And so we provide intensive outpatient group therapy. We provide assessments. We service folks that are up under the Department of Transportation that may need a return to duty. We are SAP evaluators. We also treat disorder gambling. So we treat a variety of folks that come in, and we're here to help. We're here to help.
Beautiful. Well, thanks for being here. We're going to talk more about some of the specific work you do, but I always think it's good to find out more about you before we begin. So could you share a little bit about your background, where you grew up, and of course, what brought you into this field? Give us your journey if you don't mind.
Absolutely. So I've been in this field for about 15 years. I was a born resident of Cleveland, Ohio, came up in the urban area. So I watched a lot of untreated mental health, a lot of untreated substance use, a lot of untreated despair is what I'll say, and so, I've always had a passion of helping, and a curiosity about human nature and human behavior. And so I ended up going to school, getting a few degrees and a couple certifications, worked at a lot of the dinosaur agencies. When I say that, I mean agencies that's been around for like 80, plus years. Had the opportunity to be an understudy to a lot of folks that have been in the field for 40 plus years. I find it very rewarding to see people come in looking for a solution and then inadvertently finding out that solution lies within themselves all along, and just helping them along their way. I've ran residential treatment facilities. I've ran outpatient services for other agencies. And within the past 2 to 3 years, I just kind of noticed a gap that was not being met. And thus Your Recovery Counseling was born. We have expanded. We have an additional site location. We have staff that are hands-on in office 9 to 5. We are all inclusive. Our staff is very diverse. We're here to help. We just had a huge holiday party, a give back for the community yesterday, where
That's
we fed
beautiful.
a lot of people, gifted a lot of people, and that's who we are.
Well, we're excited that we're here today joining this journey with you. And by the way, there's some great testimonials on the website and client reviews. Can I just share a few? Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Someone named Morgan says, I honestly received the best service I could ask for. They were super professional to deal with. They met all my needs, helped me a lot. Ron says, This program saved my life. I was in bad shape when I called them, but the staff believed in me more than I believed in myself, and that helped put me on the right path. Then you got Kimberly saying my experience was awesome at first. I wasn't really sure if I was worth getting a new start in life, and the staff was supportive, didn't rush me. They really met her where she was, and so far she's been doing great now for 3 years. And Desmond thanks you for getting his life back and says no longer on probation, completing the program is the one thing that he's finished to the end, and he finished strong. So thanking you and your staff. And guys, there's still plenty of more. I can't read them all here on the site, and it's beautiful what you're doing. And we'll talk more about the therapies in particular, but first I just want to ask, when was your company established? Were you were in business during COVID and the pandemic?
Actually, we started coming out of COVID.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are not the new kids on the block, but rather the new agency on the scene. So we were established actually February 22nd of
Wow.
2022. Yes, of
Amazing.
2022.
Well, I was
Yeah.
going to ask, I
Mhm.
feel like mental health awareness, anxiety, stress, everything has been a little more. I think people have been suffering more mentally and maybe opening up about it more. Could you share your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. I think the pandemic, it was a disaster on so many levels.
Mm-hmm.
However, what it did was it did open up the door for people to recognize that it is okay to address your mental health. It is
Mm-hmm.
okay to address your emotional well-being.
Yeah.
It is just as important as going to your yearly physical appointments for your medical needs. Your mental health deserves the same attention and deserves a regimen of its own so that you can stay sharp and that you can stay balanced
Yeah.
and you can overcome. So we saw a lot of folks coming out, not just for substance use. Of course, substance
Mm-hmm.
use is we see a high volume of folks that need help in that area, but also folks that are just sitting at home and they don't know what's going on with them. They can't figure
Yeah.
out, why they don't feel like their old selves. And they come in and some of them realize that they have a new version that's waiting for them that feels a lot better than their old self that they thought was great in the beginning. So life is a journey, and we are just really excited about helping people find and become comfortable in their own journey.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for sharing this. And again, I don't know where you want to head to next, but there's so much that you offer from individual counseling, group counseling. Did you want to share in particular some of the services that you offer?
Absolutely. Our individual counseling, is by far one of I would say, one of the most services that people find benefit off of. We do have group therapy. Our group
Mm-hmm.
therapy is phenomenal. There's a lot of vicarious learning there.
Mm.
They have other people in the group that can either identify or have
Mm-hmm.
been through similar circumstances. So it's an opportunity for people to recognize that they are not alone. And it's an opportunity for them to develop support in a way that they probably did not see possible. Our individual counseling, focuses on a variety of needs that are specific to the individual, where we
Mm-hmm.
target issues in areas that they may not feel comfortable sharing or exposing in a group setting. And our individual counseling can last anywhere from 4 weeks to 6 months,
Wow.
depending on what the person's needs are. Our intensive outpatient group runs 3 times a day,
Mm.
3 days a week, three
Okay.
hours a
Got it.
day.
Okay.
And it's a very strong and solid group. And then we also have outpatient counseling for those that may need a less intense level of care.
Mm-hmm.
Our services are offered virtually. Our outpatient counseling is 1 day a week. It's 90 minutes a day, 1 hour a week. But our intensive outpatient groups run for 12 weeks. Our outpatient groups run from 6 to 8 weeks. And again, everything is person centered. So it's not like, hey, you come in, you won't be done until 8 weeks. Things is based off of your progress. If you are progressing positively, you're responding well to interventions and life is getting better for you, and you're at a 6 week mark, We're not going to hold you, but what we've noticed with a lot of our folks, they have completed our programming and they choose to stay on. We've had folks that have completed December 2023. They may not be as involved in the groups as they once were, but they still attend as an alumni on their, when needed as applicable. And they remain for individual therapy and they are consistent, so it's just, therapy is it's a beautiful thing, once people give themselves a chance, folks have to get to a place where hurting is no longer an option sometimes, or using substances is no longer an option. It hasn't presented itself as an enemy and not our friend for some folks, and that's not for everyone. But for folks that are using substances and life is problematic and chaotic, and you find yourself more down than you are up, it may be a good time to take a look at the relationship with substance use, and aside from substance use, if you're finding yourself feeling down and out and it's just you or the relationships that you are in, you may want to come and take a look at what's going on with you emotionally, behavior wise, with your mental health, so that you can establish strong relationships, create healthy boundaries, and be happy living the life that you're given,
Beautiful. And at this time, we just have to remind everyone how we can reach out to you. Could you share again the website, phone number, any social media pages?
Absolutely. You can find us online at yourrecoverystarts.com. You can give us a call, 216-483-1001. You can follow us on all social media platforms, Your Recovery Counseling, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, which is now, I guess, X is what they're calling it. Our services are offered virtually or in person. So if commuting is a barrier, if anxiety is a barrier, you can receive services and get help from the comfort of your own home if you have a smart device. If commuting is a barrier and you are within distance of the location, we do provide Ubers, we provide bus tickets, we help with transportation. We don't only do counseling, we provide case management. So if housing is an issue, if bills are an issue, if there are other needs that are unmet, give us a call. We're here to help. 216-483-1001 is the office phone. Yourrecoverystarts.com is the website. You can find us easily on all social media platforms and Google as well.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And just curious, do you accept some insurances? Is this out of
Absolutely.
pocket? How does that work as well? Some people might be wondering, that question too.
Absolutely. So we are contracted with majority of the carriers. We accept all forms of Ohio Medicaid, including but not limited to CareSource, Molina, United Healthcare, Anthem. We accept private insurance, including but not limited to Medical Mutual, Cigna, Humana. We also accept self-pay options. So we have a sliding scale fee for folks that may be above the income level, but also need a little cushion with receiving services. We do not want finances to be a barrier with you getting help, so give us a call and we will, we were trying to find something that fits you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. All right. There's still so much more to you and to what Your Recovery Starts does have to offer. What else did you want to kind of dive into for today, being with our first show here together on Zoom?
I mean, I think I'm glad that we did have this first show. It is also around the holiday seasons. And so I just want to let folks know that I'm aware that the holiday seasons do not bring joy for a lot of people. For some of us, we are happy and everyone, is in this holiday mode or spirit. But for some people, the holidays is not as joyous, and for you guys that are out there, we are aware, we are here, you have a listening ear, you have support here. So please give us a call, and for those of you that are having a wonderful time during the holidays, continue to do that. Be safe. If things, if you need support following the holidays, give us a call. We are here.
Beautiful. And could you share some, I've shared some testimonials, but talk about some of your clients. You don't have to use their names, but some of the things in particular, any stories that resonate with the people that you've been helping or currently helping?
Absolutely. So there's two stories that I would love to share. The first story is, when I first started off in this field, I was working at a prominent agency that's well known. That's probably considered a dinosaur agency, where I was homegrown. A lot of my skills were developed there, and I was seeing a young man there. And at that time, this young man was like
Mm-hmm.
22. And this guy actually just booked services with us. He is now 35, and he says, I remember you. I remember the things that you told me. Now, his life didn't go perfect at that
Yeah.
time because he still made his own decisions, but seeds
Mm-hmm.
were planted.
Yeah.
Seeds were planted, and he's come back and he says, I remember the things that you said, and I was 22,
Wow.
and some of those things worked and some things I didn't do, but just building that rapport with people,
Mm-hmm.
where people feel safe enough to say, hey, it didn't go so well for me, but I'm back. I know that, you guys are genuine about services. The other story that I would like to share is shared this story yesterday during our holiday party because
Oh,
I'm real big on giving back to the community. Again, some people don't have warm meals, home cooked meals. Some people don't have that genuine support and that genuine, hey, we care. Some people don't have the gift of giving, and so we brought that to our population. And one of a family member that was accompanying one of our clients said, what made you do this? And I told them
mm-hmm.
this story. I remember when I was very early in my career and I was meeting with a gentleman, and it was after Thanksgiving, and I was green. And so I said, how was your Thanksgiving? Because I'm all on
Yeah, you're like,
this happy drive from how my Thanksgiving was. And when he told me how his Thanksgiving was, it was much
mm-hmm.
different than what I experienced. And I vowed to myself, if there was anything that I could ever do for folks around the holidays so that their stories are not as sad as that story that I heard, I wanted to be a part of it. And so that's another reason why we do what we do. Everyone deserves an opportunity to feel cared for, to feel supported, to feel safe, and to feel a part of. And that's what your recovery counseling stands for: inclusiveness. Inclusiveness. Well, we got folks calling now. Sorry.
Love that. It's okay. You got to take a call. You can. I'm like, hey, all right, she's a busy girl here. Um, and this is exciting work that you do. You get to help, so many people. And how do
Yeah,
I
we've
say?
had folks come in for disordered gambling. That's another huge thing in the state of Ohio. They just legalized sports betting almost a year ago in
Ah,
January. And once that happened, again, I don't want to, target these specific areas like they're problematic for everyone, because they're not problematic for everyone. Mental health is not problematic for
no, yeah,
everyone.
it's
Substance use is not problematic for everyone. Gaming is not problematic for everyone. However, it is a problem for a lot of folks. And for you, we are here. And so when they, this sports betting came out, we had folks that were, it was a problem for, and
yeah.
so they came in seeking services. We developed a treatment plan, did some budgeting, addressed some cognitive distortions with the thought process, looked at the social rewards that folks,
Mm-hmm.
felt that they were getting, and some behavior modification.
Got it.
So I just wanted to make sure that folks that may not have issues, with their mental, they don't feel that there's issues with mental health, or substance use may not be an issue, but maybe gaming or betting or gambling may be an issue. We're also here to help you as well.
Beautiful.
Our staff is diverse. They're
And
fully
and I
competent
was
and equipped.
reading on the site before. What do you do to help those with the DOT?
Oh yeah, for Department of Transportation. So that's when we're looking at our railroad workers, our pilots, our CDL drivers.
Mm-hmm.
In the event, maybe they go out and have a drink, or forbid eat some brownies or something like that, and they
Mm-hmm.
end up having some issues with a urinalysis screen with their employer. They are required to have a SAP evaluation, which is done by a substance abuse professional. It's a very specific evaluation. They can't just go to any agency or any person and get an assessment. We provide those evaluations here to help with their return to duty, and so that's a very specific function. But we are here to help. If you're out there, if you're working and you're covered up under the Department of Transportation and some issues may have came up, and you are looking to return to work, however, there are some things you may need to address.
Mm-hmm.
Please give us a call, 216-483-1001. Follow us on our website, yourrecoverystarts.com. Our name is Your Recovery Counseling. You can find us easily on Google or on all social media platforms.
Beautiful. I don't want to cut you short because we still have 4 minutes left.
Oh, it's okay.
Just want to point out, healing begins with you. You mentioned you have licensed providers. They're respecting dignity, self-worth, customer service. And just curious, what is your handles on Facebook and Instagram? Could you just share that?
So yeah, our handles on Facebook and Instagram, are Healing Begins With You. We are here to help. And Your Recovery Counseling. We try to keep it really simple.
Good.
We try to keep it really simple. A lot of times there's a lot of things swirling around in folks' minds. We want to keep it simple. Healing begins with you. We're here to help. You're worth the effort. Those are you can find us there. It's definitely Healing Begins With You. That will pull you up with anything. And we believe that, healing does begin with you. No effective change can happen unless you're willing to explore something different. That's the whole point, of therapy. Folks are looking for something different. You're tired of what you already have. It is a process. It's not an overnight journey. It takes time, but you have to, give yourself the option of having the effort invested.
Yeah, I noticed on the Instagram page, I pulled it up. You were voted best of 2023. And what? Tell us about this award.
Yeah, so we were the recipient of the Beechwood, Ohio's Best of Beechwood in the
Got it.
Counseling
Okay.
for 2023. But I'm glad you bring that up because just this morning we just received an email from the executive director of the Chamber of Commerce here. We've also just been nominated or given the recipient of the Best of Small Business of the Year award here in Beechwood, Ohio. So we're really proud about that. Just notified of that within the past hour and a half. So yeah, so we're doing some great things here. We're located in Beechwood, Ohio, beautiful suburban area. However, we do, we serve folks that are within the community and also the surrounding areas. So if you're not in Beechwood, Ohio, you're in some different areas and you don't feel like, this location may be for you.
Exactly.
It is. So we have staff here that are here for you to meet your needs.
Well, thank you so much. Pleasure having you here, getting to talk to you, getting to know you. And again, I saw on the website, you can click right there on the link to contact you to reach out. And you do offer that initial discovery call, which is great for so many people.
Absolutely, yeah.
And especially now during the holiday season, I think everyone could use a mental health boost because we go through so much, grief, loss, love, stress, family being around. There's a lot more attention, I'd say, during the holidays. So thank you again for being here and looking forward to the next time we get to talk.
Thank you, Jill. And I'm glad you did bring up, we do offer the free 15-minute virtual consultation when you call. Thank you so much.
Sadigoh Galloway, thank you so much. Same to you. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
when I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.